Good afternoon, billionaires. And welcome to Big B at 3, your daily moment of clarity, power, and alignment. Let's get into it. Okay, yes, sorry about that. Again, hey billionaires, welcome to the Big B at 3, your daily moment of clarity, power, and alignment. I was finishing up a task. We're gonna get it right. We're gonna stop making excuses and we're gonna get it right. But I was finishing up a task and I did not want to stop because I wanted to be done with that task in that moment because it didn't make sense to go back to it. It was already an emotional task, so I was trying to really get through it. Wednesday is our therapy session day. So on the second Monday of the month, we have a day that we all collectively get together. I'm pulling it up, y'all. Board, asset, Photoshop. Where is it? Hold up, one second. Let's see. What in the world? I'm sorry, y'all. Board. Well, anyway, I can't find it. But on the second Monday of every month, we have our therapy sessions, which is a 7 o'clock call that we do where all the communities come together and we talk. But on Wednesdays, we kind of model after that monthly call. And everything we do is not all Bible and not all God, although God is always included. Is we heavily aim and go that direction. But something I did want to share with you guys biblically today from our reading of the week, which is Romans 12, is about knowing your gifts and being good at your gifts. I think this is a good place for people to come and read and understand it for themselves. So if we go to Romans 12, 3 and 4, I was doing a very emotional task before this call. That's why my energy is probably a little bit off today, but we're going to get it right. But it says, "For by grace given to me, I say to every one of you, do not think of yourself more highly than you ought, but rather think of yourself with somber judgment in accordance with the faith God has distributed to each of you. Just as each of us have one body with many members, and these members do not all have the same function, so in Christ we, though many, form one body, and each member belongs to all the others. We have different gifts according to the grace given to each of us. If your gift, okay, so these are the gifts. If your gift is if your gift is prophesizing, then prophesy in accordance with your faith. Let me read that again. If your gift is prophesizing, then prophesize in accordance with your faith. If it is serving, then serve. If it is teaching, then teach. If it is encouragement, then give encouragement. If it is giving, then give generously. If it is to lead, do it diligently. If it is to show mercy, do it cheerfully. So these are some of the things that God considers as gifts that he gives to us. That was prophecy, that was serving, teaching, encouragement, giving, and leading. So I want you to ask yourself, which one of those do you believe are your gifts? So this morning I went to ChatGPT and I just wanted to ask ChatGPT what it had to say about what those gifts are in general. And this is what it shared with me that I want to share with you. Because it gave a little bit more depth to maybe help you understand a little bit more about who you are and what your gifts are if you never thought about it from a biblical point of view. All right. So the first gift is prophecy. What it looks like: discernment, spiritual atmosphere. You can discern spiritual atmospheres quickly, sees patterns before others do, speak truth that may be uncomfortable and redemptive, calls people up to, or no, I'm sorry, calls people up to who they really are, sensitive to hypocrisy and compromise. So I definitely feel like I have the gift of prophecy. Just even before reading this, but do you think you have it based off of what I just said? Healthy operations: speak with humility, not ego, anchored in scripture, aims to restore, not expose, moves with faith, not fear. Unhealthy version: controlling, dramatic, self appointed, correction of spirit. When aligned, it should feel like when aligned, a prophetic person shifts rooms. Okay. Do you have that gift? Next one, the gift of serving. What it looks like: sees what needs to be done before acts, loves supporting vision, finds joy in helping others, notices small details. Healthy operation: serves without resentment, sets boundaries, understands their contribution matters. Unhealthy version: burnout, people pleasing. When aligned, they are the backbone to any movement. So I do have I didn't give myself credit for this one. I can serve, and being a servant is one of the best gifts you can have. Like Jesus was a servant. He served people. That was what he was. That was probably his number one gift. I think the reason why I struggle in that the most is because I look at serving like I look at marriage, right? A lot of times men say that women have an issue with submitting. I don't think women have an issue with submitting. What I think is happening is that men aren't submitting to God. See, there was a prerequisite to women submitting to men. It only makes sense for a woman to submit to any man if he is submitted to God. God leads him, and because God leads him, we're being led by our little God, our husband. But if you're not going to God for answers, if you're not going to God for instruction, if you're not going to God for clarity, if you're not going to God for understanding, how am I come to you? I can't. So I think the disconnect is, men, you guys should spend more time with God in the word and understanding what his role in your lives are, what your gifts in your lives are, and that would make women, not to say that is we're waiting on you, but it's a chain reaction. You know what I'm saying? We can only submit to men who submit to God. Like, submission is not even a thing the United States or the universe tells women to do. That is a biblical principle that comes from the Bible. So if you're going to quote it accurately. So I said all that to say I'm not serving as much as I could be serving in this season because I feel like there's no husbands. I feel like there's no real leaders out there for me to follow, for me to serve. So what I am working on as being in my leadership bag. People need leaders to follow. People need people who are in their word and take it seriously to follow. That's just my analogy. You know what? I forgot I was in that trade. But all is well. With that being said, we're worried. So we talked about what the gift of serving looks like. The gift of teaching. I think I can put my hand up for that one. What this looks like: breaks down complex ideas simply, loves study and structure. That's definitely me. Explains why and not just what. Thinks in systems. Healthy operation. Teaches truth. That's definitely me. Not opinion. Seeks clarity over applause. Definitely me. And continues learning. Unhealthy version: arrogance, intellectual pride, and nitpicking. I could be a little guilty of intellectual pride because I be looking at people like, y'all ain't this smart. So I need to work on that a little bit. When aligned, people leave empowered and not dependent. That is what my community is all about. I have joined organizations, and those organizations used to want to like give me awards and their names and stuff like that, and I just didn't need them. Like I joined this organization to make money. I did not join your organization for me to win the Brian McKnight Award. Like I don't need that label over me. Um so I said all that to say, when people join my community, I really want you to feel so strong in self, so strong in God, that when you leave my community, and if you never come back again, that you feel like you're a stronger person. I don't need you to be here depending on me to make your life change. I need this community to make you want to change, give you the tools to change. And when you feel ready, like you don't need to be here no more, um, yay. Oh, listen, you can learn when you are a person who loves education, who loves to learn. Everything is a lesson. Everybody has a lesson to share. I think that old people, especially, that's why I love talking to them. I think that homeless people, that is why I'm always very kind to them, have some of the best stories, and those are two classes of people that are often forgotten about. So I just enjoy spending time and just learning from them. Like, what was your mistakes? How did you do this wrong? What would you have done differently? Always a wealth of information. Money accolades. Like if you want to give me $500 because I did well, like that makes sense to me. And but to give me an award with your name, I understand that we're building culture, building mentorships and things of that nature. I'm just showing you the difference between theirs and mine, and what I'm here to do, and what the gifts actually look like according to the word. All right. So the next one is the gift of encouragement. And this looks like you see the potential immediately. I have the gift of encouragement. Speaks life into discouraged people, naturally motivates, strong emotional intelligence, healthy operations, encourages truthfully, not flattery, balances affirmation with accountability. Unhealthy versions: avoid hard conversations to keep peace. Whew. When aligned, people feel strengthened and stirred to action. All right, this thing would name one unhealthy version, and I am guilty of this, especially in relationships. I avoid hard conversations to keep the peace. I'm learning that I'm going to have those hard conversations more than I have been, because it just saves a lot of time. And that's what I really am in this season of life. My 39th birthday was in December. So 40 is approaching for me this year. And I believe when you start to approach 40, you look at your time differently. Number one, if we look at the span of a lifetime, half of my life is behind me. I got more time behind me probably than I do ahead of me. Okay. So that being said, I can't play with my time like I used to. The luxury of being 20, the luxury of being 30 and having time to get it right in a decade. I don't have that luxury anymore. In a decade, I'll be 50. And if things are not in accordance, then that's going to look crazy to be 50 and moving crazy. So a lot of times, even in dating, it gets to a point where sometimes they don't like dating women who approach them 40, because we're so serious about what we came here to do. Not because we want to put pressure on you, but just in a timeline of things, realistically speaking, King, like I can't waste my time. Like we gotta be on a mission. What we doing? Not saying we gotta get married tomorrow, but we do need to be in alignment with goals that we want for ourselves. If off top those are not in alignment, that's where dating is beautiful. That's not a bad thing. That's what we come together and be honest about the thing. I was just reading through some text messages, because I had to go through these text messages to get certain information to go do something productive, but it made me go through memory lane. And as I was going through memory lane, I saw so many opportunities where we just weren't aligned. And I told this person we just weren't aligned. And he just kept telling me that we were aligned. And I just kept trying to hang in there to see if the alignment would come. But now that hindsight is 2020 and the things went the way they went, I knew prophetically, I knew the whole time. And I just kept letting him tell me I was in denial, but I wasn't at all. Like, this has been probably the worst experience that I've gone through in a relationship. The way the cards ended up when it was all said and done. The gift of giving is the next one. I'm that girl. I love to give. First of all, giving is a framework of God. The more you give, the more you receive. When you sow, you reap. So don't be stingy. Don't be um tightwad. Like, give freely if it's your gift. It's my gift. I really do enjoy giving. And what that looks like is love funding. You love funding vision. You think in terms of stewardship, feels joy in resourcing others, often financially strategic, healthy operation, gives freely without control, does not attach manipulation to generosity, manages money wisely. So I'm a giver by nature, and I always had a rule that you never pour from your cup unless your cup is overflowing. That way you're never emptied out. And last year, y'all, I was on E. And because I was on E, and because I'm so compassionate about others, some of my friends were on E too. And my E was a little bit more than their E. But because they were my friends, I poured from my empty cup and blessed them with financial blessings. And what ended up happening was, unhealthy version, using money to influence or gain power. When aligned, kingdom work accelerates. What ended up happening was, it says, does not attach manipulation to generosity. This is the one, gives freely without control. When you give, I can't speak today, I do apologize. When you give, and it's from your cup being empty, and it's not a full cup that you're pouring from, that's the floor supervisor thing. Give them $1, raise, and exactly. What I ended up doing was giving, but trying to control it. I was trying to control it because, number one, it was supposed to be controlled. I gave, and the control that was given, like a contract, was that you guys were going to pay me back in a certain amount of time. And when you didn't pay me back, I started taking control of the situation. So that still puts me in the healthy lane of generosity, because anybody who don't get paid back in a timely fashion that you agreed to should be upset about that. And then what happened was, I had friends who worked in banking or was even in trading, and I saw how diligent they were about business with those bankers. I saw how diligent they were about their risk management with trading. So I knew they were aware about how to treat people with respect when it comes to money. So when these people gave me their ass to kiss when it came to the money I lent them from my empty cup, it really, that was probably my biggest hurt of 2025, being a generous giver and giving from my lack and nobody paying me back. So I'm a giver, but my job is to follow my boundary, which is to never give from an empty cup. Never give more than you can afford to lose, even if they say they're going to pay you back. And never give a person, if a person needs something and they grown and they need $1,000, for example, do not give them the whole $1,000. You're not their mama, you're not their responsibility, and you're not their God. So with that being said, you might even say, well, I hear you, sister and brother. And because my cup is overflowing and I can't afford to give something, I'm going to give you $500 toward that. How you get the other $500 ain't got nothing to do with me. Matter of fact, I don't even want to know. But I have sowed a seed into you, and God bless you on your journey, because not only that, I know all your other friends, because you talking to me, needed some money, wouldn't even have gave you no seed. So if the seed ain't good enough for the friend, you don't need to be my friend, is my motto going forward. Okay? Because I dealt with that a lot last year. All right, the gift of leadership. This is where I'm feeling most called. And Bam, I even appreciate you being like where I'm at, because I got to be on time. Like, if I expect to be a leader in this season, I got to lead correctly. But the gift of leadership, it says what it looks like: naturally organizes people, sees direction and next steps, takes responsibility, feels weight for outcomes, healthy operation, leads by example, delegates well, listens before deciding, remains accountable. Unhealthy version: domination, over control, impatience. When aligned, momentum follows them. So, naturally organizes people. I'm not really that good at that, honestly. But the other: sees direction and next steps, takes responsibility, feels weight for outcomes. I am in personality the Harriet Tubman of my friends. You know how Harriet Tubman went and got freedom for herself in the North, and then she came back for others. I'm the Harriet that goes and finds freedom in the North. I might not even come back for y'all, to be honest, but I led to show y'all that it was possible. Somebody has to lead and show that it was possible. Now, I'm gonna write you a telegram telling you that I made it to New York City from Savannah, Georgia. But I'm probably not coming back from New York to Savannah to help you get free. And then y'all start playing with my time and y'all start getting scared. I risk myself going back into slavery. That's Harriet Tubman 2.0. So there's the pre there's Harriet, pre-Harriet, there's pre-Harriet, Harriet, and post-Harriet. I'm pre-Harriet, the one who thought about it. I'm Harriet, the one who did it. Post-Harriet, that's where I draw the line. That's where you got to muster up your own courage and be like, God damn it, if Blessin did it, I can do it too. I'm freeing people from poverty. I have a dream like Dr. King and got money like Herman Russell. That's what I'm talking about, King. And I love that those are your role models, even lately for me. I'm so grateful for my time of being in communities, because I've met so many dope people like you guys, and like you, Bam, and like so many others. Like, my friendship circle in my 30s came from those groups of people. It was a fun time. But what I'm learning now, with my hindsight being 2020, are those people are my peers. A lot of them, got lucky, got blessed, and a lot of them just did it right. But still, you hadn't really had enough years in the game for me to put you on a pedestal of someone I look up to, right? So, or to give that kind of money to, without proof and concept, because I've learned they'll say anything for you to pay that money. What I've learned is a lot of them are wealthy now because they were saying things that they hadn't done yet, making it seem like they had done them, so you would want to invest in them. And that investment is the money that took them over the edge. There's more than one way to skin a cat, but I don't like that. Like, that's not how I want to lead. So that's why I want to lead, because I want to lead differently. And I want people to have different options for what leadership looks like. So leadership for me is not my easiest gift, but it's a gift I do have, and one that I want to exercise more in 2026. All right. And then we have the gift of mercy. That looks like deep compassion. I have this too. That's why I cry all the time. Sensitive to suffering, quick to forgive, safe presence for the broken. Healthy operation, holds boundaries, doesn't absorb others' pain as identity, anchors compassion and truth. Unhealthy version, enabling dysfunction. When aligned, people encounter the heart of God through them. Whew. Yep, that's me. All right, so those are the gifts. I just wanted to share them with you so you will have an idea of what godly gifts are considered. You can find this in Romans 12, 3 through 6. I just want you to take a moment to go to read that and decide which of these gifts most align with you, which ones. It also recommended that a lot of times you can be all of them, and sometimes you can just have more strengths in one's or the other. It's up to you. You know what I'm saying? So, how do you want to represent yourself to the world in this season? Like I said, leadership is usually not the gift that I lead with, but I do feel called in this season to go there. My usual gift that I lead with is probably mercy and giving. But because I got hurt so bad last year in 2026 for those gifts, I have to put those on they're in a healing. They're like in a timeout. They need to be rebuilt again. They need to be nourished. So right now, I'm not the giver that I used to be. I'm not the girl who gives mercy like she used to give. I will be again. I'm just allowing those gifts to heal. And while those are healing, I'm walking in my leadership gift. Okay? All right. You are so kind. And I feel like I'm all over the place today. But for me, guys and girls who are watching this live, this more than anything is about just showing up, right? If we look at social media, everybody can be cute, pristine, and put together. And a lot of times, people like me who have gifts, we don't show up because we don't feel as put together as social media feels like we should be. This is my normal look. I'm a boy mom. When I leave here, we got karate, we got Bible study, we got things we do. So a lot of times I'm in a very comfortable state. And a lot of times I used to let that stop me from showing up. So in this season, this is not about perfection, but this is about obedience. And again, if I'm going to be a leader, I got to show up. So showing up 5 days a week is extremely challenging for me. A lot of times I don't even want to show up. Today, I almost even want to make an excuse, like yesterday and Monday. I'm like, God, again, I want to make up an excuse. And you know what's so beautiful? Again, I wanted to make up an excuse, but again, I showed up. And that's what God is looking for. I know you don't feel like it. I know you got other things on Blessin's agenda, but I'm asking for you to work your godly gifts the way I've instructed you to, which is not easy or convenient for you to do, but you will be blessed on the other side. So I just wanted to bring these things to your attention. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. We will be here tomorrow, Big B at 3. Tomorrow we'll be doing one of our group exercises, so stick around and see what that is. And then Friday I'll be checking to see how many people have signed up for our email list so we can be doing our Blessed to Be a Blessing weekly giveaway. Well, thank you so much. I'm never not unpresentable. I'm just not as cute as I be wanting to be. Like Kiana Watson, I think she changed her Kiana Shantae now. Like that's goals for me. I think she is so cute. I think she's always put together, but she's also a realtor and she's also meeting with people every day. I'm also a trader. I have no reason to see anybody at all for anything. So sometimes I don't even have to put on clothes at all. Sometimes I don't even get dressed to the afternoon because that's really when my outside activities start. And I be up since 3 o'clock in the morning. And then I will go to the gym, come back, shower up, just put on some regular clothes, and then get a little bit more glam when I have things to do in the afternoon. That's it. So that's it. So even this show outline, I have an outline for it, but yeah, there's just showing up is the real requirement for me in this season. And then just like showing up here is just like showing up in the gym. The more you show up, the easier it gets. The more reps you do, the easier it gets. Now weight was heavy last month. It ain't heavy this month because you showed up every day. So one day it's going to be just so natural to show up, and the show is just going to continue to grow. It's going to really bless a lot of people. But the old Blessin would never do this. 3 people on the live, I would have been like, they don't want to see me. And this feels embarrassing. But when you're on assignment, it don't even feel embarrassing. It feels like obedience. And you finally stop people pleasing and you start God pleasing. And you will be rewarded for it. You sign up, okay. let's talk about, okay, I'm going to text you after this because if you signed up last week, I do know that I noticed today, which is why I didn't tag it in my stories, that we did not move it over from, it used to be on WAP. For the last 3 weeks, it's been posted in school, but the payment in the system has not changed over. So I'm gonna get in touch with my VA. We normally meet on Tuesdays, we did meet yesterday, but I think I noticed this after the call that it wasn't set up appropriately. So I'm gonna get that corrected. Thank you for bringing it to my attention. I really, really appreciate you. And that's all I got for you guys today. I hope this was really, really good. I hope this taught you about yourself and your gifts through God. And I never desire to keep you long. And I will see you tomorrow, billionaires. Same time. Oh, let me read my official close. What do we have here? May your day be settled, your spirit be straightened, and your steps be guided by God. This is Blessin Destiny, your belief mentor and generational blessing. And that was your Billionaire Daily Mindset and your daily reminder that identity and your authenticity are your superpowers. Okay, same time, same grace. Big B at 3. And for right now, guys, Monday, we're on Instagram. But Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, we are on YouTube. By next week, I'm going to be streaming to both of them every single day. Okay? All right. Peace, billionaires. See y'all tomorrow.